Oh man.
Oh.
This is like my perfect dark loading screen, like weapon selection. Yeah.
Did you like make that on a sequencer?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Just imagine me just eating, dude.
It's like the darkest.
What I really want is some sort of like live looper. That's like that. That's just portable. Because I got one, but you have to like plug it into like Ableton Live. You know? It's just.
There we go.
That was sick.
Yeah,
that was
really
a vibe.
Cool. Hold on, you guys want to enter the jungle?
Oh, take me in.
Are you guys into like jungle beats? This one's kind of fun.
Jungle beats.
You might ape out. Ready?
Yo, what up, everyone?
Well, no, that one.
Oh, dude, it's like Donkey Kong 64 all over again.
Drums and bananas.
I just want to cut like bananas. So friggin'. That's how I'm gonna do my my grocery shopping in the fruit section.
You guys want to go to the Rainforest Cafe after this?
Please.
All right. All right. So that's basically.
I couldn't find a complimentary note on this banjo.
Trying to write those sounds.
Just strumming a single note.
I was just like trying to find like a note that was like one of the notes you're playing. Maybe that's how I could harmonize with you, but I don't know anything about banjo.
Have you guys ever been to the Rainforest Cafe, by the way?
Yes, I've gone twice in the last year, and that's it.
That's
what is the Rainforest Cafe?
Not going to the Rainforest Cafe, and then I went.
He doesn't know what it is.
Last year.
I don't know what it is.
It's just it's like Chuck E. Cheese, except
yes.
Except it's tigers and lightning.
And the food, right? Is the food better or worse than Chuck E. Cheese?
Arguably worse.
Really?
In fact, objectively worse because they have way more of a selection, and therefore it's overall diminished in quality.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Yeah,
there's a threshold.
It's like we got pizza. And we're gonna make pizza, all right? And it's not.
I mean, I assume they specialize in cheese and Chuck.
And Chuck. Their Chuck is top 10.
Chuck steak.
Top 10 Chucks in the state, dude.
Just a chewy Chuck steak. Yeah, but
yeah, there's a giant gorilla in all of them too. It's just like off to the side, and every once in a while he'll like make a big noise, and if you sit right by him, it's far too loud.
Yeah, like there's a huge
it's upsetting.
snake.
Yeah,
like yeah, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining.
Do you take your kids there?
Yes. Well, it's funny.
Is it like that, that's the type of place it is?
I think so.
We were like, I was like with Sarah, I was like, hey, we should go. We're with the kids, and she wanted to go, and so we went. And I was like, okay, like food kind of bad, but overall fun atmosphere. And then 6 months later, out of the blue, another friend hits us up. It's like, hey, you're in town. This is gonna sound crazy, but do you want to meet at the Rainforest Cafe? And we're like, oh my god, like we already said we're okay. All right, yeah, why not? So we're going, and they're like, so I've never been here. How's the food? And we're like, yeah. Oh, look, a tiger. Like we're trying not to like ruin the experience. Anyways, good times. Yeah, so here we are. It's podcast time.
Here we are.
We got a lot of things going on, and look, we're coming off hot of this on the heels of even more Minecraft stuff.
More Minecraft.
We talked Minecraft last week, and it was a hit. Minecraft, the trailer with the teaser was a hit with the gaming world, but Wren, you missed out.
I know.
And
I was recovering.
You were recovering. You were burned out.
I was burned.
But
I don't know why I accentuated that. Yeah, no, I was. I'd spent a whole week at Burning Man, which was amazing, and then I specifically this is my second time going, so I specifically planned this year for taking 2 weeks off so that I could recover the week that I'm back, because it was just a lot of adventure, a lot of lack of sleep.
It takes a week to recover from it.
I mean, I wanted the week.
Well, I mean, I
was recovered after 2-3 days.
Yeah,
the first day I slept pretty much the entirety of the day because
I can imagine.
It was like, man, Exodus last year was 8 hours. Because it's like
they call it when you leave.
They call it Exodus.
I love that you could just say leaving, but
leaving.
Exodus. Well, add the extra syllable.
Because Exodus is specifically the leaving
to the mortal realm.
I mean,
that's what they call it.
The default world.
Default world.
It's just the trek from your campsite in the playa, the big giant city that 60,000+ people show up to. So it's a whole city. There's a government there. There's a police force. There's it's a whole thing.
How does the government get assigned?
I'm
Is there
not
like
sure.
voting day one?
No,
that'd be
it's
so
not that
fun.
type of
Who's the
government.
mayor?
I don't know.
Introduce us to the mayor.
But it's a full-on city. It's got infrastructure. It's got all that stuff, and it's a few miles into this giant playa, like desert salt flat type thing. And it's not actually salt, it's more clay. But Yeah, last year it took 8 hours to go about like 4 miles.
Yeah, I saw all the drone footage of people stuck in traffic during Exodus.
Yeah, but that was mostly just
Just call it
because
Disneyland at that point.
last
call it
year
Disneyland.
it had rained really hard in the last like couple days of the week, so everyone got stranded, and so everyone's like kind of upset, and everyone wants to leave. And the moment everyone was allowed to leave, they all did. This year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up extra early. Got up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and I was like packed and ready to go by 6 a.m.
Genius.
It took less than half an hour to get out.
That's the move.
Wow.
And
Done.
I had not planned for that. I had planned for sitting in my car all day, so I had a book ready to read, and I was like going to try to get like some cat naps because I basically spent the night drinking and then only got like an hour and a half of sleep. So I was exhausted by the time I was actually ready to go, and I was fully anticipating being able to rest
that
all
doesn't
day.
add up. That doesn't add up. Okay, but crazy.
I'm confused when it comes to Exodus. I've seen the pictures.
When it comes to Exodus.
Explain this to me.
Now,
I've
what do
seen
you
the
call when you
pictures.
get there? What do you call it? Is there a term for when you get there?
Intrudus.
Intrudus.
I don't know, I made that up.
But I've seen the pictures of like the 6 lanes of
Yeah.
cars.
Ascension.
But it's an eternal friggin' salt flat.
Mhm.
Why don't you just make more lanes?
Because everyone's trying to get down to 1 lane anyway, and because you're all trying to get off the desert onto an actual like single lane road.
Oh, okay.
And so it's more of just like a management sort of thing. Because otherwise you create a bigger bottleneck at the end of that.
There's 1 single lane road.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well, I mean, it's 2 lanes, I guess. One out, one in.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year I didn't even stop once. I mean, you're driving at like 5-10 miles an hour or so the whole way, and so it's just very slow going. And there's a lot of people around me, but it was never like backed up to where you had to stop. Because last year you'd basically stop for 20 minutes. Everyone stops for 20 minutes, and then everyone turns on their cars, moves forward, and 100 feet or so, and then turns their car off again. Rinse and repeat every 20 minutes for hours. This year, just half an hour later, I was on the road and leaving. I was like, oh, great, cool. So then Jan and I, we were driving separately. We met up in Lake Tahoe to do some one-wheeling, and that was fun. But I had to like pull over to take a nap a couple times on my way out there just because I was so tired.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was a good time. So anyway, the Burning Man side of things, we could talk about that later, but I was exhausted when I got back, and I knew I was going to be exhausted. So I was like, I wanted to take the time to relax and absorb being home. Because sometimes you
And
need a
water.
vacation from your vacation, It's like you need time to like recuperate and readjust to the world. And I just wanted that time. And the only downside was that I was trying to finish this Minecraft video before I left. And then like with a day to go, I realized there's no way. There's absolutely no way this is going to happen. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can have like Peter finish up the rest of the visual effects while I'm out, and then we can have it go out when it was supposed to come out. And so instead we ended up having to delay the video 3 weeks because I was out for 2 and we had this week to finish it. So moral of that story,
Morals.
my Minecraft video was coming out this weekend. Our Minecraft video, I should say. Austin and I collaborated on this one. Say
Nice.
hi, Austin. You're on the mic today.
DJ
guys.
Austin.
DJ
I'm
Austin.
today.
Austin.
I'm in Christian's place.
Yeah, Christian's in paradise right now, so
Yeah.
he's too busy to
And
do the
so are we.
Well, he's
podcast.
alive, by the
We're
way.
also
That
He's
sounded
alive.
a little bit like maybe.
He's in
He
no, it's not
passed.
eternal paradise. It's temporary. It's very much
Limited
temporary.
paradise.
All I know is that on his Instagram, he's in some beautiful place with palm trees and stuff, and
Hell yeah.
probably having a great time.
I've never been to Hawaii.
Wow.
I know.
I think about going to Hawaii, but then I thought about that lady
Oh,
who died from the turbulence,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
and I was like,
What?
yeah,
It
From
shook
the,
her up,
like-
dude. It shook her up.
Wait, she died on the airplane?
yeah. Well, she probably
Scrambled
didn't have her
Brandy.
seatbelt, and so they had a big bump, and she lifted up and then hit the ceiling and then folded.
Is that true?
What?
Is that a real thing?
Well,
or-
maybe she died when she hit the bottom too. I don't know if she died.
She died twice.
I don't know specifically if she
died
died when
twice?
she hit the ceiling or when she then came back and hit the
That's-
floor.
What a wild way to go. On
Yeah.
her way to Hawaii?
Uh,
Or the way back?
you know what? You're pressing me too hard
I'm in
for
the
details.
weeds on this story. I need
I'll-
the details.
just take that story at face value.
Wow.
I won't be offended if I get fact checked, but
Yeah. So that's why you haven't gone.
well, no, I did. I went when I was 12 too, and it was fun. But it was also I remember the same thing. It's like, yeah, you hit those intense turbulence patches, and it was just like,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
People underestimate the size of the Pacific Ocean. It's kind of crazy how large the Pacific Ocean is. Like the distance from the west coast of the US to the east coast of Asia is a ridiculous amount. It's like most of Earth's land is very lopsided on one half of the planet.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Sounds about right.
So I guess there's a lot of storms and stuff out there.
I still
Yeah.
don't understand how it's part of America. It makes no sense to me.
Mm.
This set of islands. It doesn't.
Colonialism.
Yeah, but I'm like, it feels like it shouldn't be. You know,
I
It's
really should know the
colonial
history
weird.
of Hawaii. I don't know.
Yeah, that's colonialism work, I guess.
I
I'm
mean,
over here on my soapbox. You know,
give it back.
The only
Give
thing I
it
know about
back,
Hawaii's
dude.
history is that there was King Kamehameha.
Kamehameha. Depends. The pronunciation makes
yeah, I
a
was
big
gonna
difference.
say who's right.
Kamehameha is like the natural pronunciation, and then Kamehameha is the Dragon Ball Z pronunciation.
Okay.
It's
I
full of facts.
You
I
don't.
didn't know the distinction in the pronunciations there.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like that's
Well,
how.
usually in Dragon Ball Z,
no,
it's
no,
not,
no. They're,
no
in
one
Dragon Ball
says
Z,
it
they're not
as
like
the name.
Kamehameha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They say it like one syllable every 4 seconds.
Yeah. Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Few
I
minutes
would love to
pass.
go Hawaii. I would
Okay.
love to check out that whole region. I think that'd be really sweet. I've
Yeah.
never made it out there. I've been to a lot of places on this planet.
Yeah.
But not Hawaii somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hawaii's,
One of these days
Hawaii's
I'll make it.
beautiful. It's gorgeous out there. Really lovely trip.
So, Ren, do you have beef with Minecraft,
Beef or pork.
or is it
Chop.
pork? Pork chops.
I mean, okay. Are you talking about like the movie trailer and my thoughts on it?
I'm talking about like but it's a little bit of everything still. I just need like we've gotten like snippets from you over the last week here. You know, on the podcast, we did the Colin with the React show. And I'm just still trying to get a sense of like what's your big takeaway right now after working on this video for like a month and a half.
I mean, it feels so different from what my mind has been immersed in lately because I don't know, I don't really have super strong feelings about the movie other than like I don't really have an interest in seeing it. But I don't know if that's the movie's fault or if it's just not really my thing. All I know is that the movie has a very inconsistent sense of scale. And the video I'm working on is all about scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited about this Minecraft video I've been working on because it's had some of the most fun visual effects I've worked on in a long time, and I think it'll actually communicate some things that I haven't really seen communicated on the internet about Minecraft before.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
The timing of it's crazy to me though. Because
Pure happenstance. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. There's a joke in this video where I walk in and I start talking about like the heights of the various mobs, including Minecraft Steve, Villager, Zombie, and like Creeper and whatnot. And I start off by saying, everyone plays as Jack Black, sorry, Steve. And the way I like kind of accentuated Steve is the way Jack Black accentuates Steve in the trailer. And I had no idea. Like the video was basically done, more or less done. Just a few visual effects shots to clean up while I was out on vacation when the trailer dropped. And it was just very interesting. It was almost exactly what I imagined a Minecraft movie looking like, where it's like everything is pseudo cube-like. Everything's very lush and very detailed, and you know, there's grass, there's fur, there's really nice detail everywhere. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know anything about the story, so I don't really want to judge what this movie is going to be like. Everyone's already dragging this movie through the dirt on the internet. All I know is that some people came out of some sort of portal. Speaking of which, the Tesseract.
the Tesseract, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We did it first, everyone. I don't know what that little blue cube is in the trailer. It's probably just some blue cube, but we literally did that in, what was that, 2014?
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was the Superheroes versus Gaming Heroes
Yeah.
video. It was the very first video that I personally directed on the Corridor channel.
Oh, that's cool.
And I did like, I think all the visual effects for it. It took me like 6 weeks to do that video. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it revolved around this idea that Nico, as a Minecraft dude, is mining away and finds this little blue cube, which is the Tesseract. This was not long after the first Avengers movie, so the Tesseract was like this little blue cube. So it was like, oh yeah, let's put that into Minecraft. It makes total sense. And then, of course, like Thor and the rest of the guys show up and they battle it out, and that was a fun video.
Yeah.
I guess Kevin did a bunch of effects on that too. I didn't know how to do a bunch of like the heavy 3D stuff and simulations back then. So we did like the wall break and Captain America
That's
getting
cool.
thrown away. Anyway, then it ends with the Master Ball from Pokemon trying to capture the Tesseract. So it was like the concept of like an immovable object versus an unstoppable force. And they basically just like glitch out the entire world and it blows up. But it looks a lot like the little blue cube from the Minecraft trailer.
It does. Yeah. Funny choice. Funny choice. Too many coincidences. I think our DNA is somehow intertwined with this film. I don't know if it's for better or worse yet.
I don't know either. But I in this Minecraft video that we're doing, definitely a couple callbacks to your guys' video from 2011, was it? The last minecart. The first Minecraft video.
Yeah.
I believe that was 2011.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I think that was like just not long before I joined up with the studio. So it was definitely like before I was involved with anything here. And yeah, so there's the shotgun. There's a really, really sick shotgun moment in this video. I don't want to spoil it just yet, but yeah, it's a Peter special. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning of the video, we have a callback to that video, and then like right before the little crew logo thing pops up, it's you kicking the helmet onto Nico's head, and you're like, oh. But yeah, and then I lift the shotgun off of the wall and I just like put it in my pocket as like a what do you call the Chekhov shotgun?
Chekhov specifically a shotgun. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I haven't really played Minecraft in the last like couple years, but it's one of those games that I come back to every couple years and I put, I don't know, 10, 20 hours into it, and then I'm like, I'm good. Wait another couple years.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've been consistently playing it now for like about 3 years again. Mostly because my kids.
You play it with your son, right?
Yeah, he's
or
getting
both your
into,
kids?
And then like just this last weekend, like one of my neighbor's kids came over who also plays Minecraft, so I kind of set up like a LAN party for them.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool, man. That's great.
I got two gaming PCs side by side, and it's like they're both like jamming on there, and like we got a server going. I was like, dude, here we go. This is like my like time to shine as a cool dad.
Gosh,
dude, that honestly would be the biggest reason why I want to have kids, would be to be able to play video games with them.
Yeah. Well, it's trippy having this, you know, like everyone who has a Minecraft server has this experience, you know, every time we've ever done it. It's always the same thing, which is suddenly you realize, wait a second, I've been playing on this server for like years now, and like there's this like weird like archaeological Minecraft element now, you know, where you're like, oh,
archaeological?
Well, yeah, because you're like playing Minecraft in this persistent world that's always growing, and so sometimes you accidentally stumble across like a village or like a settlement that you made like a year ago.
So cool.
And,
really? And you forget, but you've forgotten about some of this stuff, and so. Yeah,
so you're like rediscovering. You're like, whoa.
But wait, does it get buried or over time? So how do you discover it? Or are you just saying you just stumble upon it?
I keep forgetting that you don't know.
I don't know anything about Minecraft.
Yeah, to be clear, Jordan has not played Minecraft.
I have literally never played Minecraft.
I think both Jordans have not played Minecraft.
Yeah.
Also, JC is in here too.
Yeah, she's over there.
She's like right off frame.
Yeah,
she's chilling.
Yeah, I love it. Like I'm so intrigued by the idea of it.
Nothing gets buried. That's all. Everything's
because that would be a wild. You're literally doing archaeological digs to find an old city.
They do have that whole thing now. They have like a brush, and you can find like ruins and.
Like, I feel like there's probably a mod. There's like a mod for every possible thing you could want. In that game.
Yeah.
No, but it's really just like, hey, look, we built a cool like tree base over here, and then you kind of get tired of it, and so then you run around and explore, and then. Sometimes if you forget the coordinates, like we've been trying to keep the coordinates of all like the bases, but it's just like there's too many at this point. And so you're just playing the game and you're like, oh, that's crazy. I forgot about this huge cool area or like this thing we built or something like that. And it's super trippy.
The only game I've played that's similar to that is 7 Days to Die. I got like legit addicted to that game. 7 Days to Die is kind of Minecraft-esque, where every 7 days a horde of zombies attacks your residence and tries to kill you. It's been in alpha for like 17 years or something.
It's kind of like tower defense a little bit. Or
it is kind of like Minecraft, where you're going and getting resources from the town, trying to survive, gather all the stuff, and then build a base that can survive the wave that's coming. And every 7 days, the next wave comes. So that was like attractive to me because I could just zen out, build something creative, and see if I could survive, and like that's a good time. But I guess that's in Minecraft too. It sounds like it's a super flexible.
Yeah, Minecraft is one of those games that's kind of bizarre in that there's nothing specifically for you to do. The game play is literally you discovering what you want to do.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of like a plot to it. You know, eventually you're supposed to like fight this Ender dragon. at the very end of the game.
At
and
the end.
There's an
The
end.
end.
Oh, I was
The
gonna
end.
say, what the heck?
It's the name of the world that the dragon's in, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
only
Nether
just
and
recently
the end.
learned is a much bigger thing than just the island. Because you teleport into this island where there's this giant
Oh,
dragon and
no.
a bunch of Enderman around.
You discovered more about the end.
The end city.
Well, it's like, again, I haven't really played this game much over the last few years, so the whole concept of like you have to go there and then go out to the other world. It's a whole world the same size as the overworld.
The Nether, the
The
end,
Nether,
and the
and the
overworld are
end.
all the exact same size.
Huh.
And all of those are like 60 million blocks wide in total.
That's crazy.
So and then in the end world, you can go find like this like wingsuit thing called an elytra. And what does that word mean, by the way? Elytra? Is it just
It's just,
It's just
no
wings.
one knows.
Wing stuff.
wing stuff?
It's Latin for
Know
wing
what I
stuff.
mean? Yeah, and so for this video, we specifically installed some really interesting graphics mods that make everything look really pretty and
Oh,
also
cool.
like increase the draw distance to be really far away. It's like we got
Yep.
these really, really good computers, so let's max this out and make
Yeah.
it look
Yeah, it's
look really good.
It's sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Were you playing your server on PC or on a console?
PC. It's all
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So when the kids came over, they were like playing on little laptops. or?
I think. Yeah. I mean, on the actual gaming PCs and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's cool.
Did your son's friend like pull over like a full on gaming PC and like?
No. I have two. I have like my main
I gotcha, I
workstation at
gotcha.
home for like
Uh-huh.
music, and then I have
Yeah,
an
yeah.
extra one off to the side that's for just for games,
Sick.
basically.
All right.
But yeah, it's cool. It's sweet. It's pretty sweet.
Does he have his own like world?
No, it's this. So
They're
when
joining
I say
Sam's World.
so when I say we have a
Oh.
server, it's basically it's a world that's hosted on one computer that anyone can access
I see.
from any PC. So
I don't know why I haven't played it, man. It sounds like my cup of tea, 100%. Because these days it's like it's either Elden Ring or I just want something to zen out to.
yeah.
Those are my two. Like
Minecraft
either-
is a really fun one to zen out to.
Perfect
it's
to zen out for.
It's
Yes.
really fun in VR too.
Oh,
honestly.
dude,
Oh.
yeah.
Minecraft in VR is trippy because like since it's a procedural world, you just kind of like it feels like you're going forever. It feels like you're like really exploring in that game
Mhm.
because every single corner you turn, you have no idea what's going to be down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Also,
pretty sweet.
when I played Minecraft in VR for the first time, that was like the first time I truly realized how large a Minecraft block is.
Yeah, right.
And that was part of the sort of idea for this video.
Okay, wait, well, hold on. A Minecraft block is you say it's a meter,
Yeah.
but the characters in Minecraft are 2 meters then tall.
No, not quite.
But like
Just
so-
under.
So, but how do you come to the conclusion that it's a meter? Because that means that the characters are bigger than normal people in Minecraft too, right?
Well, Minecraft Steve is like 6'2". He's about my height.
6'2".
Gotcha. Huh.
I'm technically like 6'1.5", so he's like a little taller. Whatever. I'm 187 centimeters. But yeah, and like villagers and zombies, they're like 1.95 meters tall.
Yeah.
So they're just under 2 meters.
Gotcha.
Yeah, about 2 blocks or so.
Huh.
But like when you see a cubic meter, that's when you actually realize, oh wait, this is huge. Because
Yeah.
most people are like somewhere between 1.5 and 2 meters tall. And so like a meter is more than half their height.
Yeah.
Height
And-
humble brag. There we go. I like that. Sorry.
Well,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
Humble
dude,
brag.
as everyone here will attest.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't look
It's-
6 feet tall because he's sitting. Come on.
No, and it's not true either. Again, I'm 5'7". Contextualize this. When you see me next to Wren on camera, I'm 5'7".
Four-
Through
4'8".
every video they've ever been
I'm
in
actually
together.
4'8".
It's my favorite lie to tell.
What's that? What's
yeah.
that illusion of the room? Yeah, the whole studio is actually
It's on
built
an
at a
angle.
strange angle. So when we all stand next to each other, it looks like we're the same height.
I've talked about this before, but the number one thing I get from people who meet me for the first time, like fans and stuff, they always say, you're taller than I expected. I know you guys have heard this happen before in person too,
Yeah.
but
I've never got
I
that.
think it's because I have a short torso and long legs. So it's like proportionately. So when I sit down, I appear shorter. So I think that's why, like, especially when we're sitting on the couch, I'm like shorter or the same height as everyone else. But then we stand up and I'm taller.
But that couch
a
is deceiving.
short torso.
It is.
That
Uh-huh.
couch, the divot in the middle is cruel. Whoever's sitting in the middle is at a real disadvantage. We have guests
Yeah.
come over and they were just like
just sink.
towering on either side of them. And it's like, no, they're not actually that tiny. It's
There
just
we go.
the
Yeah,
couch.
that's the new imperial measurement system. It's Minecraft blocks. It's
Oh, I like that.
how many blocks tall are you?
Yeah,
funny.
I'm 1.87 blocks tall.
Yeah, seeing it on the studio floor is nuts.
Yeah,
Because it's
so,
the width, really. It's like the height and the width. Wait,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry, because again, don't know anything. Forgive me, guys. I'm sorry. Steve, his head.
Yes.
Is it a Minecraft block?
No.
Okay, thank God.
No.
Because that would be insane.
But they are way
It's 3 feet wide.
Still, like,
Yeah,
big.
So like I was mentioning earlier, I basically walked through the doorway from the kitchen into the studio and into like the main Studio 3 studio. And we have this where I basically walk by several of those characters. But in filming it, I thought I gave enough room for these characters to like be between me and the wall. And then Peter did the shot and it was like, there's not really enough room. These guys are huge because they're just so wide and they're tall, but like they're bricks. So they're
They're thick.
wide, they're thick, they've got depth. Yeah, they're deep.
Johnny
And so
Deep.
we ended up not really having a whole lot of room. So they had to be kind of packed in there and the framing's not that great, but it was like, oh, wow. Yeah. So that's an example of even me underestimating the scale of Minecraft and planning some of these shots.
That's cool. I'm really, really excited to see the final thing.
Me too. I'm pretty excited. I think, I think people will like this video.
Well, because that was not the original concept, though, was it?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The concept for this kind of evolved a lot over the before we started working on it. So it started off as like I wanted to use Gaussian splats to like extract maps from like video games and stuff like that and just like do something with that. And then that turned into like, all right, let's make the true scale of video games and kind of compare different like video game maps. That's been on my list of videos to do for years now. People have done variations of that concept, but none of them have done it how I would want to do a concept like that. And as I looked more into it, I started finding myself getting more and more drawn to Minecraft because the proceduralism aspect of it. And we had like a whole outline written and a plan for this other video. And the Minecraft portion of that video started growing and growing and growing until eventually I was like, you know what? Let's just focus on Minecraft. There's plenty to talk about here. It's topical. Somehow it's still topical. And
Well, now it's especially topical.
yeah, and that was completely unplanned on my part. Had I known the Minecraft trailer was going to be dropping in around this time, I absolutely would have pushed to do a Minecraft video, of course.
Yeah.
But it was just pure happenstance and luck.
Yeah.
So, like last year, I did the Scale of Nukes video, and that was to tie in with the Oppenheimer movie. It's like there's a reason to tie stuff into the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
I think it's going to do great, man. I'm super excited about it.
I also like towards the end of the video, like the first part of the video is talking about like the scale of a block and then the scale of like a map and stuff like that. And then by the end of the video, I start talking about how many different potential Minecraft maps there are because it's a 64-bit system, or like the key, the seed, you put in a number to generate your Minecraft world because it's all procedural, and there's 2 to the power of 64 different potential seeds that you could put in, each one creating a different world, which
2 to
means
the power of 64.
it's over 18 quintillion different potential Minecraft maps.
wow.
2 to the
that
power
a-
of 64.
Yeah.
You're going to put in your calculator?
I just want to look. I want to just look at that number.
You're going to have to turn your phone sideways. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's a very large number. And so then I start going into like tallying up the because each Minecraft map individually is 60 million blocks by 60 million blocks, like wide, by 384 blocks tall. So it's essentially razor thin at that scale or that aspect ratio. But 60 million blocks is 60,000 kilometers. The Earth is 12,000 kilometers wide.
Whoa.
So it's significantly larger than the Earth. And there's 18 quintillion of those things. And if you're like to put them out as a giant plane, it'd be like 27 light years across. So
Oh
27
my
light years by
gosh.
27 light years as a square.
Oh, shoot.
And I took that one step further because I was wondering like, all right, what would be the mass of this whole thing? And so using the help of some chat,
Heck yeah.
some gifts, managed to figure out the average density of the entire Minecraft world, which allows me to figure out the mass of the Minecraft world. And I was particularly proud of how I figured out the average density because I totaled up like the most used blocks, and there's cobblestone versus diamond versus iron versus water versus wood versus wool. They all have different densities, and you can have that and you can average that density, but there's a distribution as well. Like 60% of the blocks in the game are stone. I forget the actual breakdown, but then I applied that distribution to those densities and figured out the average density, and then realized, okay, about half the blocks are also air, so divide that by half. I ended up with the density of the average block, including air, and I can multiply that by the volume of it. So basically multiply the X, Y, and Z size of the whole thing, and that gives you the volume, multiply that by the density. Now you have the mass. And that's where I realized things got really crazy, because I did that for the entire 18 quintillion scale of the map. It came out to a mass about 10 million times larger than the black hole at the center of our galaxy, Sagittarius A, which is basically, you know how like the sun is at the center of our solar system and it keeps everything spinning around it? A supermassive black hole is basically that, but for a galaxy. It's at the center of our galaxy, and our entire galaxy basically just revolves around this thing.
Well, we don't know that that's not what's in there.
What?
In our real galaxy.
What?
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It could have been a Minecraft map.
So then, okay, so
and now we have
Ren,
a normal galaxy around it.
everyone loves to say like, there's as many stars in the sky as grains of sand, or drops of the ocean. Like, can you give us like something modern that's in relation to Minecraft then? So if you're saying this is like bigger than the black hole, like how do we do this for the kids, like to get the scale here? Because so frequently like that, I just feel like there's something useful here. You know, it's like, are there more? Wait, so
something wise to say.
It's not. Yeah. Well, what's the wise summary?
How many Jack Blacks
How many
can
Jack
fit
Blacks?
in all of Minecraft?
I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. I don't even know what you're asking, to be honest.
I guess I don't either.
So it is a deep question.
It's just the point being is that Minecraft, of course, is procedural, but it is the biggest thing ever created.
There's more blocks in Minecraft than black holes in the universe.
Oh yeah. I mean, if the universe is infinite, that might not be true.
Okay.
We can only see so far to the end of the universe, but theoretically, it continues beyond our vision, beyond what we can see. I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. That's the saying.
But that's the whole thing about infinity, right? Is that infinity is by definition limitless.
Okay, wait. You're saying there's if you're going to take the amount of, so explain again how it compares to the black hole one more time, because that was really intense.
Okay,
that's really cool. So can you explain it one more time?
Yeah. So think of it this way: every single Minecraft block weighs a certain amount, right?
Yes.
You got a big cubic meter of dirt that weighs a certain amount. You have a cubic meter of water that weighs exactly 1,000 kilograms or 2,200 pounds.
Sure.
And every Minecraft map has a certain depth and a height.
Yep.
And you can keep walking one direction until you reach the end of the world where you can't go any further. There's a force field.
Yep.
So that gives you a tangible amount of blocks that you can then calculate how much all of the total amount of blocks weighs. And so I did that for a single map. And then you basically multiply that by the 18 quintillion possible versions you can have of a Minecraft map.
Yeah.
So now I have the total number of all those blocks, and I have the average weight of each of those blocks.
Okay, but hold on. You're saying this is okay. This is where I got lost, which is like, is this the total blocks possible to make in one map, or is this, sorry, the average of all the different variations you said?
Because it's procedural, I don't know exactly how many stone blocks there are. I don't know exactly how many diamond or iron blocks there are.
Okay, I got it.
But I do know the distribution. There's roughly 60% of all the blocks in a Minecraft map
gotcha. So
are going to be stone.
I see what you're saying. You're taking the maximum size of the map and then averaging out all the possible variations of what it could be.
And including
gotcha.
Roughly half of all the blocks in a map are air.
Yep, sure. Okay. Gotcha.
Roughly. Because you got mountains and valleys and whatnot. And
that's heftier than a black hole.
Than a supermassive black hole.
So we know exactly how heavy our supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy is. It's got a certain amount of mass, 2 times 10 to the power of 37 or something like that, kilograms. Yeah. It's a big number. It's a number that we can't comprehend. It's just
that's
big.
Very crazy.
But it's still a tangible number that we know. And I was able to calculate a tangible number for how big all of the Minecraft worlds would be. And I compared them. It's also like something like 10,000 times larger than the largest black hole we've ever discovered
Jesus
in the
Christ.
universe.
This is sweet though, because like, man, for years, like when people were coming out with game maps, they're like, check this out. This game map is like a quarter of the size of the real New York City. And you're like, wow, that's so cool. Or this one's as big as that. Or like Elder Scrolls Oblivion is this X miles big. And then they're like, so
Hey guys.
So Minecraft.
So another game.
So yeah, it's larger. The scale of this game is larger than any real world scale you'll ever encounter during your lifetime.
Yeah.
There's one other game that comes close, and that is No Man's Sky.
Mhm.
Have you guys played that one?
Yeah.
I wish it was a good game.
Whoa.
I sincerely wish No Man's Sky was a great game.
When was the last time you played it?
2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Oh, okay
I
then.
check in-
The last week has been amazing.
I check
dude.
it every single time they update that game with something new. I hop in and I mess with it, and I'm just like, still fucking blows.
Mm.
Wow.
Still
Why?
is a piece of crap.
Wow.
There's no, at least in Minecraft, there's like stuff to do when there's nothing around, so to speak. But No Man's Sky, it's like, imagine Minecraft, but there's no caves. It's like, imagine it's just like the thinnest like version of Minecraft, so to speak.
Find myself agreeing with you on that.
Yeah,
It's true.
It ticks me off. It really
I
ticks me
started
off.
playing No Man's Sky for the first time last year and found
Gotcha.
myself really enjoying it. I liked the
Good.
idea of being able to fly between different planets and actually fly all the way down to the surface. And you have like this tool that literally like allows you to dig through the ground. I found that very satisfying for some reason. It's like a bool tool.
That's cool.
And you can literally just like dig tunnels down underground. And I was having a good time with it, but I didn't realize until I started playing it and put a couple hours into it that I realized it's like, this is literally Minecraft in space without voxels. There's voxelized behind the scenes, I think, but the big talking point about that game was that there's 18 quintillion different planets that you can explore.
Now that's interesting because that's the exact same number.
Because it's a 64-bit system for generating all those planets. It's generated in the same way Minecraft generates their worlds. It's all procedural. It's all based off of 64-bit procedural system. So 2 to the power 64, 18 quintillion
So
different
it literally
planets.
is the cap.
But that doesn't mean that there are 18 quintillion planets that have been explored or are explorable. It's like you go off into a different galaxy and you explore to a new solar system and whatnot, and then it generates those planets once you get there.
Yeah,
and there's like maybe a few planets in every.
And as we
system.
see in the comments, when you get to these planets, you might be able to fish on some of these planets. If you think the game is interesting enough to stop on one of these planets,
I did stop playing No Man's Sky because I did get bored.
it's the problem was like Minecraft. Like when you're playing Minecraft or a good crafting survival based game, ideally, like when you like run out of a resource or something like that, it puts you in a situation where you still are able to enjoy something about the game. But in No Man's Sky, there are like a million stupid crafting decisions and things like that, where suddenly you run out of one little dumb resource. You run out of one dumb resource, and the game just stops. It just like, okay, I literally can't do I can't
that is true.
do anything until I fucking waste a half hour on this stupid planet, like zip zapping cactuses, just so I can refuel my ship, to go back to the space station. It's like
So you're stuck in the grind.
yeah, it like the gameplay loop just like comes to a full stop when you like run out of one thing. It's like,
That's frustrating.
my mining laser's out of carbon. Or like my warp drive doesn't have enough fuel. It's like that the game is just constantly like stuff going wrong, It's like, it's just, imagine you're cooking and every time you move on to the next stage of your cooking, you run out of an ingredient you needed for that next stage. And you're just like, God dang, like nothing, just like nothing flows about it in the game. It's super annoying.
Well, the crafting
And I think
aspect
honestly,
of it,
they should probably stop working on it. I don't know why there's like, I got how like they got all burned when the game came out, it came out and everyone was like, wait a second, but you promised us the infinity. And the guys made it. He was like, oh God, what do I do? Okay, my commitment is I will make infinity in this game for real with all the features we promised. And like, I just feel bad because it's like, no, you're this game's fine. don't worry, just move on.
I think they are making a new game though.
They better because
I forget the name of it. It's
there's-
not
It's One
No
Man's
Man's Sky
Sky.
2. It's a different game, but I forget the name of it.
No
yeah,
Man's
well,
Ground.
I think
No
yeah.
Man's
Oh, I
Ground.
can't wait.
Good. Because honestly,
Finally.
I think it's just like they're just making it. They're just wasting their time at this point, updating it.
Yeah, I'll just play Elden Ring.
Like no one's ever gonna be pleased with it. No one's ever gonna really
that's the
like
thing.
it.
I mean, I was pleased with the
Sorry,
game. I
okay.
did enjoy playing it, but it doesn't have the same staying power that Minecraft has, because Minecraft has a completely different like crafting system to it. No Man's Sky has like, you can build a base and you can customize your base. You can craft different supplies for yourself and stuff like that. But in Minecraft, it's like the world itself is craftable. Like you can literally go up to a mountain and be like, I'm going to make a base on this mountain. You literally build a house to your exact desires and imagination on the top of the mountain, dig holes through the middle of it and tunnels and all this stuff. You can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And the crafting in Minecraft has gotten considerably more advanced over the years with all the different things you can make
totally.
using redstone and create all these really advanced contraptions. Someone has actually built a computer inside of Minecraft that can play Minecraft.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
humans.
It's this
man.
giant computer. I don't know how large, but it's like multiple stadiums huge type thing. And it's all like these intricate little like manual circuits. Like imagine building a computer out of single bits that you're literally just like making each individual bit to do each individual thing. And you do it to a scale that eventually it creates a computer. And even the display is like little like, what do you call like the little pistons? Pistons. And like little pieces of, so it's like pushing out to actually create the display. It's like an actual, it's a whole thing.
That's remarkable.
And that's all just done inside the game. Like the game just allows for that to happen. And so I think that's why this game has stayed around for the last 15 years as a relevant thing, because you can do anything.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I kind of wonder if that's why, because there's been a tremendous rise in people jumping over to Houdini recently. Like a lot more artists coming over, and it is the VFX equivalent of Minecraft to me. Which is kind of why I'm surprised I haven't really tried Minecraft. I feel like I'd really enjoy it. But
I think you
Houdini is
would.
very much the same thing, where it's like you can build anything. It's just a virtual sandbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool, man. I might
Every
download
time
it.
I think I'm going to start learning Houdini, Cinema4D comes out with a crazy update that basically adds the thing I was wanting to do into Cinema4D and makes it lightning fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, if it meets the needs.
But then I still just don't even do that.
Or does it? Or does it? Or does it? Is it? I can't tell if Cinema 4D's at the stage where it's like, are they really like adding stuff that's cool, or are they like scraping by? Where it's like,
No, they're legitimately adding stuff that is cool. And like, especially the last like 2 years or so, they've sort of like reapproached how a 3D package should work. Again, Cinema 4D is targeted towards MoGraph designers and
motion
stuff.
graphics, yeah.
It will never replace what Houdini can do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but I just want a bucket of water to splash sometimes, or I want like,
That's the biggest thing that
I want some rocks to
cinema
fly
still
around
can't
easy.
do is liquid simulations.
Mhm.
No,
But
it
I've been
can't.
playing around with Liquid-Gen. It's
Liquid
Oh, how do you
pretty
find it?
good.
Yeah?
It's pretty good.
Liquid Gen. I need to see. Is it like Embergen?
Liquid. Yeah.
It's made by the same guys.
It's
Yeah,
basically
so it's a real-time
Yeah.
liquid simulation, real-time rendering at the same time. I came back, I had started a simulation. We went and played Smash for like 20 minutes. I came back and it was still going. It was a 20-minute simulation
It's so cool.
that had just been going.
That's great.
Yeah, so we have in the beginning of this video.
Oh, this looks good.
I used,
Liquid Gen is tight.
Yeah, no, it's legit, dude. And you can like export out the meshes of your liquid stuff and import it into Cinema 4D. So that's
Oh,
what I did
cool.
in this video. And like early on in this video, I'm basically sitting on a block next to a water block that like fills up. And I wanted to do that with Liquid-Gen. And yeah, it's like you just set up your scene and you just export the mesh, import it in. What I haven't been able to figure out is all the like the particle side of it, like the white water and the bubbles,
Mhm.
foam. Liquid-Gen can do that.
That's really cool.
But I wasn't able to figure out how to export the particles and get that working in Cinema,
Okay.
in Octane and whatnot. I'm sure I could figure it out if I had more time.
But you can
But I
output the
don't.
particles separate to the mesh?
I think so.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Or you could just
Sweet.
render it out of Liquid-Gen in real time.
Yeah.
You can import your scene, a back
Mm.
plate, so you get the proper sort of like refraction through it and camera tracking. You just render that out and then comp it.
That's
It's
cool.
like,
I got to give that a shot.
It's pretty sick.
That's
sounds sweet.
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
pretty sick.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah, because that's always the big downside with flip fluid simulations is they just take forever.
and I think that's the
'Cause-
main reason why we still don't have liquid sims in cinema. You can kind of fake it. You can do a very big like particle simulation.
Oh, it just gets so messy
or like
though, when you start
metaball
faking
stuff, and then you're
everything.
just meshing it.
And then things break, and then there's not a button for it, and they don't give you access to the core, and then it's like you just can't. You're just like, ah.
I mean, because I
Right.
still remember using Real Flow back in the day on the Shadow of Mordor
Yeah.
video, and it had a really interesting thing that I haven't really seen many liquid simulators do, which is it's a thing called sheeting.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have these particles and they're meshed, and it's based on proximity. But when the particles start getting strewn out, that proximity isn't close enough for the mesh to like combine, and so you end up with like globs that don't look realistic.
Little
and
holes
so
and
like
flickering
at least
gaps.
Real Flow was able to identify certain areas where the surface tension should still keep that as like a sheet of liquid.
Yeah.
Even though a normal meshing situation wouldn't do that. And
Mhm.
so that was how you'd get more realistic liquid sims. I'm sure a lot of liquid simulators do that these days.
That's sweet.
I'm just not super familiar.
Yeah. I'll check out Liquid Gen though.
It's
For sure.
It's pretty cool.
Just for like, I mean, even quick, just stuff you want to get real-time playback for or lighting reference. Like, I'm curious to see the block shot you're talking about with the water filling up the cube. What did you see?
I just thought, no, it just reminded me finally of what it was. Is when we were doing the react session for the Minecraft video last week, and we were watching it, and we were doing you did the joke. It was like, don't you hate when the movie's not the movie?
Yes.
This is the movie.
Yes.
Wait,
I don't know if you were on the
what
call
does
for
that
that.
mean?
This
I
is-
didn't hear that.
It's like the joke from the mobile game ads.
Yeah.
You know, there's like the little guy who pops up during the mobile game ad. He's
Yeah.
like, don't you hate when the game's not the game?
This
This
is
is
the
the game.
Have you ever seen those ads?
No.
Where it's like a mobile game ad.
I mean, I've seen mobile game ads, but I haven't seen the one you guys
it's
are
like
referencing.
misleading. It's a misleading mobile game ad that looks super good, and like, it was like, wait, hold on, is this actually the gameplay from it or something?
And then they'll have a guy
Never is.
actually
A guy
pop
pops in.
from the top, and me and Matt like kind of made fun of this in the video we made a while ago.
Yeah.
about
Wait,
the mobile
really?
game ad. Yeah.
It's
Where I'll slot in, or like a fake guy will slot in who's a gamer, and he'll be like, "Don't you hate it when the game's not the game?" Meaning the gameplay footage is showing you something that's not real.
I don't remember that from that video.
This is the game, and then you go download it, and it's not the game. You're like,
It's
what's
still-
going
like,
on?
it's still not the game.
It's still
It's
not the
still
game.
not.
So we were joking about the Minecraft movie, where it's like aesthetically, it's kind of like a mobile game ad.
a little bit,
And it's like, don't you hate it when the movie's not, the movie? This is the movie.
This is the
It's like,
movie.
oh my God. Mobile
like-
game the movie.
It's like
That's
so
funny.
perfect. It's so perfect.
That reminds me, I never finished my talking point on the scale of the movie, because towards the end of the trailer, after like Steve is revealed, they're all like standing on top of this like, I don't know, tree castle type thing, but all of the blocks are smaller. Like they're all standing next, so they're each of them are like 3 blocks tall. Like they're over 2 blocks tall at the very least in the trailer. So it's like even the filmmakers realized, the blocks are too big. We got to make them smaller. Because everyone, when you're playing it, the blocks look smaller because of the field of view and whatever. It doesn't look as big as it would really be in real life. It just looks like you're looking at this small little block in front of you because you can see a lot of blocks around it. It's a perspective trick. And so I think they just held true to that feeling in the movie.
Yeah.
But
It's a tough bridge to gap with live action performers in particular.
I think they probably made the right call. But
From a purist perspective.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know any. It feels like it's probably going to be a Jumanji type situation where it's like they start off in the real world and they get sucked into the game, and
like,
then they
I
gotta.
don't- like the size of the blocks doesn't bug me.
It doesn't bug me either. It's just I noticed
basically
it.
everything else that's probably gonna be bugging me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of
So,
video games turned movies, Sam.
I don't know how much to talk about this because I want to save it for React. But
Yeah.
I mean, we got.
I paid
just a little bit here.
$19.99
Oh,
Really?
no.
to watch Borderlands because
You paid almost $2,000.
it came out on streaming, so I was like, you know what,
So
we have to do
expensive.
this on the show because, like, apparently everyone says the VFX in the movie aren't that bad.
Yeah. Oh,
I did hear that.
That
I did
seems
hear
to be
that.
the theme. Like again, Minecraft. The visuals look freaking gorgeous.
They actually,
the
do
renders
really
look
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Borderlands, I'm sure, is the same thing. It's the story stuff.
There's one moment in the Minecraft trailer that I noticed and I took particular appreciation of. It was like the shot looking down at like some castle structure as the people are like running underneath the bridge and then along a path, and they're in direct sunlight and then they're in shadow behind the structure of the castle, and their shadows of the real people match perfectly to the shadows of the thing. So I was like, are those CG people and therefore the shadows would match perfectly, or are they actual like green screen people and they somehow managed to just fake their shadows to, because that's a bit of a thing in doing combining CG shadows with real footage plates, the shadows don't naturally mix. You have to like
CG people.
Yeah,
well, that's because you're just, I mean, with a
Probably.
shadow pass, you're just basically multiplying down the color of the plate image. So when you slide a shadow pass on top of a shadow, it's not going to be like evening out. It'll just literally darken the shadow area. So you get like double shadows. It's super weird
which is
looking.
not how it works. And so in the past, I've always had to do like lumamats to extract out the real shadow, to subtract that from the CG shadow. And then like you have to really fine tune your feathering around it so you don't really see that harsh edge. And then you have to perfectly match the color and the intensity of the shadow to perfectly match. It takes a lot of work to match a CG shadow to a real shadow when they overlap.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So I noticed that in the trailer and I was like, that was flawless.
That's cool.
It's really
So
good.
it's probably just CG people.
How was the movie itself, though? Did you
Borderlands.
watch the whole thing? Oh, Borderlands. Right,
you know, it's writing super boring. Really, super hard to get into. Like, you know, no one played Borderlands necessarily for the plot. They played it for like the intense, like bullet hell. Like everyone's getting upgraded guns and crazy guns shooting. You know, it's like
it's
for
that gore, the
insane,
for the humor.
Like,
Did you play Borderlands?
Oh yeah, I love.
Okay,
Borderlands.
I never played the first one, but I got really into the second one. I played that one a bunch.
Yeah.
When it came out.
Yeah,
that was like
the
all
aesthetic and the
continues.
vibe.
a hit, and then I played a little bit of 3. It was cool, but 2 was definitely peak for me. I mean, it's just, I mean, I'll show you this on the show, but it's like, it's funny because there's 2 things about it that I noticed. If there's a bad movie but it has sick VFX still or sweet action scenes, like I can still kind of get into it. Like that Atlas movie, you know, like there's the mech, Jennifer Lopez in the mech, and it's like preposterous. There's no way this can be cool. Actually,
And then it was kind of dope.
50%, yes, it's not cool. 50%. Also, the action is pretty tight at times, and there's some amazing shots. And the Borderlands movie is like not that. It's just like the actions, like the action scenes are pretty rough, and like eventually, you know,
Like just quick cut
I
stuff.
just started playing. Well, I just started playing the movie. I'm like, okay, let's see if it's cool. Okay, no, it's not. So instead, I'm gonna skip through it now instead of like wasting my time watching the film to like see if there's anything cool in it. And so every single action scene consistently is missing visual effects.
What?
There is like a specific type of visual effects missing from every single action sequence. And this is why I can't wait to show you guys on the show.
Yeah, you're not going to spoil it until we're on React.
Because I want to do
We're filming React later, so it's
not
like,
even for Borderlands. Like you watch shots and you're like, there should have been a visual effect there or something in that shot.
Does it just appear uncanny? Like you're like, that looked off and
I
weird.
don't want to ruin the surprise of what it is. Because the moment you start watching the action scenes from it, you're like, oh my God, like every shot is missing VFX. And I can't tell you what's missing until you watch it, because like once you notice it, you realize that the movie is completely broken.
Oh wow!
It is really broken. Interesting. Yes.
Well, because I mean, I kind of knew it. It might be completely broken when a game that is rated M was a PG-13 movie. That's already kind of a weird one.
You're hot on the trail. You're hot on the trail. But yeah.
I mean, this was another movie that I had like absolutely zero interest in watching. I watched the trailer and was like, oh man, this is like, I don't want to watch this.
It's so easy to make. It's like a movie that is like,
it's Mad Max-esque. It's like,
yeah,
it should be. We're there for the freaking action, the comedy, the violence. Like,
it feels like Mad Max crossed with Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jack Black's in it, right?
And Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's Claptrap. Yeah.
And also Kevin Hart.
I'm sorry, dude. Okay, based on my memory, I'm a little rusty with the game, but Roland, the character that he plays, is a serious like soldier, like a big dude, jacked, serious guy, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Why? That's so weird to me. Kevin Hart? Okay. I had nothing against Kevin Hart. I think he's a funny guy.
I like Kevin Hart. I think he's funny.
But that's such a weird like producer move to sub in. Like, oh well, he'll sell tickets, but he's so foreign to this character.
And also,
that I
like, he doesn't do jokes in the movie either.
Oh, does he play a serious role?
It's not that. It's like that like Marvel serious where there's like some levity here and there, but like it's not like he's comedic necessarily by any means. Like, oh God, and that's the other part too with this movie is that like they never get new guns.
That's what I heard. The game was always about the guns and the upgrading of the guns and all that stuff.
There's never like a cool moment where someone picks up like a new gun. They're like, she, and then they just like unleash, and then you're like, sick.
Yeah,
that's a cool gun. You know, like
that's the thing.
Like
that
I
you
want
could
that
showcase.
idiocracy thing where they're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
like that's sick. Like,
that's
you know,
the-
I
that's
don't. Yeah,
That's the space for the creativity to thrive, because it's again like when you're playing the game.
yeah.
Every 5 minutes you're finding a new gun,
And you're like,
oh,
shit.
forget
and
the
you're
old
like,
one,
dude, this is so sick. Oh, but the one I'm using is so sick.
Yeah.
Like you're like, damn, like I can't decide.
Oh, this
which
one
one's
incinerates.
cooler.
Oh, this one freaking.
This
You
one's
just
got
subbing guns all the
incineration.
time.
Oh, and this one, the longer you shoot it, the faster it shoots. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like there's zero of that in this movie, and it's so disappointing because like I just feel like as a player, that's like the one little thing you want to get a taste of.
Yeah.
You just want the scene where someone gets a new gun, they turn around, and they shoot a million guys with it, and you're like,
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, it's so rough. It's so rough. It's
What, didn't Eli Roth direct that?
I like I don't know. Did he like by what? I can't tell who directed it.
Wow.
Like I have no idea.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a movie last night for the first time I'd never heard of, but was actually quite excellent. It was a horror movie called The Ritual. Have you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
Is that the one out in like out in the mountains with the creepy like creature?
Yeah, these British dudes go camping up in like northern Sweden.
Yeah, the
and then
Swedish
they go into
one,
the
yeah.
forest, and there's like a bunch of crazy stuff that happens. I thought it was really good.
It's
I was
super good.
surprised.
I love it. I saw that movie. A few
I
years
literally
ago.
was like, I did a Google search, like, what are some good horror movies? And I went down the list of like, I've seen all these. And then, yeah, Jenna wanted to watch a horror movie last night. So I was like, all right, fine, let's watch one. I was like, The Ritual. I know nothing about it, but it's highly recommended. Sure. I put it on. It was streaming on Netflix.
Super good.
She fell asleep in the first like 30 minutes of the movie. Classic.
Okay, I'm not the only
And-
one who suffers from that. Okay.
Yeah.
'cause,
And I was like, no, sometimes I'll be like, oh, all right, fine. Stop. We'll watch this. We'll finish this tomorrow night. But last night I was like, no, I have to finish this. This is good.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I recommend it. If you're wanting to watch like a good horror movie, The Ritual was real good.
That's sweet.
Well, I mean, just to shout it out real quick too, in speaking of video game adaptations in particular to film, is the Love, Death, and Robots team is doing a series of, I think it's 5 or so video game adaptation shorts.
Oh, the secret
What?
level
from
one?
like secret level.
Yeah, I saw
that.
that.
I'm excited about. I don't know
So
much
I
about
I
just
it.
saw
haven't
but
heard anything about
Yeah.
this. What?
Yeah.
Wait,
it's
so when
like-
you say the Love, Death, and Robots team, are you talking about like the executive team, like Tim Miller's side of things, or like because
I'm not sure.
Love, Death, and Robots is all about all these different studios
Yeah.
contributing to the same.
I think it's probably this is
series.
speculation, but I think it's the creatives. I'm not sure. I just saw their trailer for it or whatever.
Interesting.
The visuals look super sick, but I'm super optimistic
Of
for that
course,
one
I
in
bet.
particular. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
super tasty.
When Tim Miller was here, he was describing what they were doing next. This may have been that.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah, so it's on Amazon. I mean, I don't know why.
Oh, then yeah, okay.
I
Because
don't
he
know,
was saying they were
may-
doing some sort of Amazon thing,
I
and he
don't know
was
if-
trying to like,
Maybe Netflix didn't renew or something, and they're like, "Hey, how do we find a new angle on the show?"
I don't know,
Oh, 15 episodes.
Yeah,
because he was saying this like,
I saw a
yeah,
Warhammer clip
Dude,
in there too.
Yeah,
I was
Armored
like,
Core, God of War, Sifu. I loved Sifu. This freaking awesome martial arts game where basically you're trying to get revenge for your
Oh,
family, and every time
yeah.
you die, you age in the game, and so you have to beat it before
What?
you die from old age.
what?
It's sick. It's sick. And they're
That's
doing
so
They're
funny.
doing a freaking.
It's oh man, we
yeah.
should do the Benjamin Button version then. You
it's-
start really old and you have no powers.
Your end is a baby,
You know?
just crawling as a baby.
And you're like the more you reverse age and get stronger.
Mm.
To finish my Tim Miller story though, he was describing when he's here doing React with us. That was like what, 1 or 2 years ago?
Years ago, decades.
2 years ago. Yeah, he was saying, yeah, they're doing their next Amazon show and they weren't able to get like as high of a budget as they wanted. So he was like, all right, can we somehow get some like Amazon rendering credits essentially as part of the budget? We're like, all right, we'll use your servers, the Amazon server. What's the AWS?
Yeah.
They do a bunch of like cloud rendering and stuff like that. And he was like trying to see if they can maybe like utilize some credits for the rendering system
That's
as
smart.
part of the budget. And I just remember thinking that is a brilliant idea that no other director would have ever considered going
You're
into
so
a
right.
project.
Yeah,
And
what a
that was
creative
how-
solution.
Because he directed the first Deadpool movie on a really small budget, but made it look like a high budget movie because he knew exactly how to produce the effects for that movie.
Yeah, that's genius. Wow, that's a really good idea.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so I imagine if that actually ended up happening, maybe I mean, of course, Love, Death, and Robots, always some of the best visual effects in media, period.
Oh yeah, and so creative too. I love it.
Because it's just like, all right, a studio is going to experiment with some cutting edge stuff to make like a 10-minute thing.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah,
And so
that's-
we're gonna get that with big IPs
that's-
from video games, and I'm
that's-
like,
yeah.
Ooh, I'm
come
excited.
on, dude.
Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
fingers
That's cool.
crossed.
I hadn't,
on that
I
one.
hadn't
Good.
heard about that. That's
hopefully-
amazing.
Hopefully they're good.
Yeah,
Hopefully
sweet.
they're good. Tight. All right. Well, guys,
Tight.
solid cast today. I think it's time that we wrap things up here. And if
Mhm.
you're on the website, don't worry. You can stick around because we're gonna chit chat just a little bit more with y'all. Get nice and comfy and personal.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next podcast.
Bye.
Goodbye,
Me too.
YouTube.